Ahsoka, Mortis, and the world between worlds. We're also exploring Luke's training Leia in the newly announced twin Crossroads novel, which will be really cool. Also, Luke knew Cal Kestis was around. Did you guys know that? We're going to talk about that in a little bit. And Zero Company. Plus, it's been a decade in the vault, but Star Wars Detours is finally being shown to the public. So let's get into it. I'm Ron. This is Mike. This is Derek. And that's Nick. And we are Star Wars Jedi Chat.
Hello there.
What's going on, fellas? How are you guys tonight?
Well, may the force be with you. And also with you. And you. And you.
Everybody good?
Yeah. How are you doing,
Great.
Ron?
Good. Doing all right. Darth Plagueis, Jessica, welcome. Appreciate you guys being here. If you're on here tonight, I would love to know where you guys are watching from. I'm on TikTok as well. So I'm over here just hanging out. But if you're on TikTok watching this, jump over to YouTube and you can join the chat. So Dan Jammin, appreciate you jumping on here. So first things first. What do you think? What should we talk about first?
Cal Kestis.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just wanted to say Cal Kestis that fast. We're under 2 minutes. Yay.
I'm good with starting with that.
Yeah.
All right. So we will start with that. So there is this right here, this book, The Secrets of the Jedi. And what has happened is this came out, I think, in May. And there's a bunch of stuff in there. The very first one that came out in 2005 was
Oh, Mike.
Oh, Mike.
Right.
Overachiever.
nice. I think I have
It's been
that.
behind me for years.
He's been
So
waiting
that
for this
one's
moment.
I think that one's from 2019.
Oh,
So-
and there I go.
Whoop, there he is. See you, Mike. No.
Let
So
me see
anyway,
what
there
it's
was
from.
some revisions. The first one was from 2005, and that was Legends. The 2019 and the revised version, which is the Chronicles of Luke Skywalker, is what we have now, which is pretty cool. So 50 Thunder, what's going on? 1 o'clock in the morning. I appreciate you being here, dude. Really do.
That's dedication. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. So so there's a
I mean,
whole
it's
bunch of
all right.
different things. Yeah. in this. So because of it being canon, and I think we can talk about each one of them. Actually, I'm going to wait to do Cal Kestis last. Sorry, Derek, because all of these things.
Whoa. Don't ask what you
Wow.
want us to start with, and then I throw it out there and put my heart on the line, and you just stomp on it. Come on.
But it's the most important, so we want to get to that last.
Of course
and
it
talk about
is.
that the most.
Save the best for last.
Jeez.
Yeah,
whatever,
exactly.
fine.
Exactly. So in this new revised with Luke's knowledge and Luke's chronicles, they talk about a whole bunch of different things that are actually coming into canon. And I think it's interesting that this is either giving us some more information about trying to connect the games, like with Cal Kestis, or some of these other shows as well. So it actually has something with Venestra Row, where Luke records rumors that Venestra may have contributed to the circumstances that allowed the Sith to return. So, and it connects directly to her cover up in the Acolyte. So I think that's pretty cool. I think that's an interesting point that they put that in there. What do
We've
you guys
dropped Cal Kestis
I
and
was
the
just about to say.
Acolyte in 4 minutes.
Wow.
But
All
it
right,
is
show's
go.
over. Have a nice
Well,
night.
yeah. we just have
is-
4 F-bombs to go, and then we're good.
Never mind.
It is great, though, that they are connecting these projects because obviously Venestra Row is hundreds of years before Luke Skywalker, or at least 150 years before the birth of Luke Skywalker. So it's nice that they're connecting these pieces that seem very far apart. Actually, the Legacy novel, too, which came out yesterday, is connecting to the Old Republic with Rey and Leia in the sequel trilogy, connecting back to the old. It's just really great to see all these things interconnecting. Yes, the video games to live action as well, but things very far in the past, like Venestra Row. And it allows us, for us Acolyte fans, to, hold out hope
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it brings, like you said, brings some hope to the Acolyte, or at least some sort of spin-off for that, whether it's with the Stranger, with Manny, whether it's with Plagueis, and even some of the other characters. I mean, Vanessa Rowe, she has a book now, but I think it would be cool to see her again. Her and Manny together, I think, would be fantastic. The Stranger, and sort of figure out what that whole story is behind everything that's going on with with the marks that he has, and her whip lightsaber, and it would just be cool. And I think eventually we will. I don't know if this will continue, but I think, again, everything that we're going to talk about on this is canon, and it sort of relates to things that are going on and some of the questions that could be answered. So it's not like, okay, Acolyte's on a shelf, we're never doing anything with this freaking thing again, which is good for us because we love this. All four of us loved it, no matter what anybody said. It was just a really good series. So there's actually something in here about Rey as well. So wait, don't leave. We're going to talk a little bit about Rey. So it says Rey adds a closing message thanking Luke for his teachings and explaining why she adopted the Skywalker name. So she intends to honor Luke. Yeah. She intends to honor Luke's sacrifice while carrying the Jedi legacy into the new generation. So, again, it's not something huge, but it's a little bit of an explanation on why she took the Skywalker name, because both of them are gone. She was trained by both of them, so it makes me feel a little bit better. I'm not over the top about it, but Mike, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, her other option was Palpatine, so she didn't really have some great options there. But I do agree, and that book, this Secrets of the Jedi, and now even the Leia and Rey one too, it's just adding more to that relationship between Rey and the Skywalkers, because on screen she trains with Luke for, like, we don't really know how long that is, I guess, but let's say it's a couple days and a couple lessons, but that's it. So her connection to Luke is not that strong, and then they have the conversation in Rise, but that's it. And then there's this, I guess, alluded to connection between her and Leia that we just don't see on screen. So getting more and more of that will only help with the whole Rey Skywalker situation. But yeah, her other option was Palpatine, and that just was not an option.
I mean, it's an option. It is absolutely an option.
I don't think the galaxy would take that very well.
Well, they were a pretty prominent family until he sliced them all down.
Yeah.
True.
Blunt force trauma.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. Maybe she brings back the good name of Palpatine.
Nick, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's, I think the issue that people have is maybe that we didn't see it because of the circumstances of the movie, but I think it's implied that, like, she spent that, whatever the time frame is between 8 and 9, pretty much just with Leia, as Poe is, like, mad at her for not being out with the Resistance and only training, and her whole thing as a character is, like, pretty desperate need to find a family, and seems that she found a family in Leia, or perhaps Luke, even though she didn't spend a ton of time with Luke. I don't know what the actual time is for her on Ahch-To. I'm sure people at MIT one day will do that, like they did with the whole drive to Cloud City thing. But yeah, I don't know. I think getting some explanations of, like, not just like why she took the name, but what that year or so was like, what she did, like kind of her understanding of it. And I'm sure in some of this stuff, we'll be getting, like, what her take is on how she's going to carry it forward. Like, how does it differ from what you learned from either of them, or the texts, or, any of that. She obviously, in The Last Jedi, disagrees with Luke's current opinion. She kind of is the audience in that movie,
Yeah.
And by the end of it, she's very much, quote unquote, attached. I wouldn't say she's attached, but she has a lot of love for, like, the people she's now gained a family of, her, Poe, Finn, you know, lost Leia, all those people like Chewie, obviously, you know, she clearly is fighting for somebody, not just like an institution. So I feel like that to me would be more interesting than like why she chose the name and how that differs. Because at some point, that's going to be the story, is what she's doing with it going forward. And I think these books kind of like help with that. The same way, I'll go back to the Vernestra thing. Like we finally have a canonized like extra thing that shows why the story of the Acolyte was like set up that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's a reason, you know, I think it's obvious if you like pay attention to the show that like by the end of it, there's something going on and there was supposed to be more. And this is like our first extra piece of validation that like it was going to really weave into the stories we know more than just Mundi being there, you know, that sort of thing. So, and Yoda and Plagueis.
Well,
so,
and because of all of our talk and everything, I started listening to Plagueis again. And this is my 4th time doing the audiobook. And oh my gosh, like it gets better every time. What a masterpiece of a book. And it's like, we have got to get him in something.
Yeah.
Have to.
Well, he is in something. It's called
well,
the
I know, but we need a lot.
Yeah. And Derek, may I ask, because I recently did the same thing earlier this year. Like, I feel that the story they were setting up for the Acolyte, they definitely, at least whoever was in the room, kind of paid attention, you know, to the vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting point, too. Is it the director, the writer, or the showrunners?
Right. Who
point?
Did?
To me, that's showrunner.
Yeah.
And if people don't know, like, I'm not going to go into that whole world, but like, yeah, Nick, you're absolutely right. Like, they put it on a tee, and they're just like, they're just ready for you to hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, good books.
just amazing book. So like, if anyone out here has not gotten into the books, which I know a lot of people aren't, and that's totally fine. I at least do the audiobooks. And if you don't want to pay for them, people have done them on YouTube for free. They're not as good because they're using AI usually most of the time. But like, spend a couple dollars on Audible and get the audiobooks. They're incredible. They're using sound effects. They're using like voice actors. A lot of the people that are narrating are like doing multiple voices, but they know how to do it. It's an experience. And that's, you know, gosh, I was like looking through my library, and I think I have a kind of like 32 different Star Wars audiobooks.
Nice.
They're also available on Spotify if you have Spotify Premium.
Nope.
Really?
That's the hill I die.
Oh, that you don't have it. They are available.
Oh, they not. Nope.
Not to Derek.
Not to me.
Okay.
All right, next. Luke's
done.
writings reveal that he knew Cal Kestis. Is it Jaro Tempels? Jaro Tempel, is that his master? Jaro Tapal. So he says that he knew that Cal Kestis, Jaro Tapal's Padawan, survived Order 66. But the book does not say, it doesn't explain how he learned it. It doesn't confirm that he ever met him. But I think this is a big one because now, I mean, yes, technically he's in canon for the books, or I mean for the games. But now when you have stuff like this coming out, I think it's just a little bit more of them confirming that we're going to see him in live action.
Yeah.
Well, has there ever been a doubt that we're not going to? It's just, to me, it's a matter of when.
Yeah. Recently, I think more than before. I mean, I think when the first game came out, people were like, "Oh, this is a really cool game," but they really never thought that we would see him. Have we had any crossovers from the people that were like, whatever you want to call it, invented in games like Cal Kestis? Have we had some of them come over from the games to the movies or live action or animation?
I don't know that we've actually had somebody, but we've had mention of people. Yeah.
You could count the 501st in a
Eh,
way because they came from the original Battlefront 2. That's like your unit in that game from 2005. But
Yeah,
it's
I
not
guess.
specifically like Rex or anything, but
Yeah,
you're just the tip of the spear, and you end up helping Nightfall Vader do the job. But
Yeah.
I don't know
So I
about
mean,
like specific characters though.
yeah. So I mean, that's
Well-
it. I mean, does anybody in the chat know that if we have anybody from besides like if when they bring Cal Kestis over?
one of the brothers, one of the Inquisitors, started in the game
From
I
the
don't remember
Cal
the-
games.
No, maybe it was from Cal game. No, it had been before that. I had to look. Sorry, let me get on the Googles.
Oh, you're good, Mike. What were you gonna say?
No, I'm not sure if that has happened, but at least concepts and certain things like BD1 is not specifically in live action, but a BD1 droid or BD1 type droid is in the Book of Boba Fett and helps in Pelimoto build the N1 starfighter. And then the mention of the inscriptions on Peridia of Kujet, the Zepho sage, is a direct connection to the Cal Kestis games with the Zepho, because that's the first time they were ever mentioned. So there are very, very subtle connections, but as of right now, to my knowledge, I'm literally rattling in my brain right now. I don't know of anybody who's come from a video game to live action.
Were those HK droids in Ahsoka from Knights of the Old Republic?
I think they were like,
Or from
I don't know if they were the HK droids obviously are from the Old Republic, but
yeah,
I don't know if they were the same or if they were sort of,
different.
just designed in inspiration of those characters. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm gonna try to deep dive. So, talk amongst yourselves.
Well, once we get the Old Republic stuff too, that's gonna be an entire cast of characters that come from a video game. Obviously, Cal Kestis is eventually going to come to live action, along with Marin, I assume, as well. I guess the reason we haven't, to answer the question, is because up until 2012, all those video games were legends. So all those characters have not been involved in the canon yet, because we got Battlefront games, Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2 in 2015 and 17. But until really Cal Kestis, there wasn't a big story video game for Star Wars after Disney bought the company. So there hasn't really been an opportunity to do so.
Mm-hmm.
True story.
Good point.
Mm-hmm. So the last thing that I watched, so there's two things here. There's one on Grogu. It said the updated edition acknowledges Grogu as one of the Force-sensitive students connected to Luke's effort to rebuild the Jedi. This brings Luke and Grogu's Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett history into the book's larger account of the Jedi. So that just sort of helps out, putting Yoda in that part, and I think it would be cool if we see a little bit more, if we do get that Luke's, Jedi Temple, hopefully at some point. I think it would be cool to see some of the other stuff that he did, while he was building that with Grogu for those 2 years. We saw about 10 minutes worth of stuff where he was training him. So it might be cool to see a little bit of that as well, if we do get something for that.
It almost sounds like this book was just made to go, hey, look, this is an updated version of that old book because we want to, shut out the Acolyte. We want to shut out Grogu and Rey, who's getting possibly her own movie and could be in Starfighter. And let's just connect all the dots in a very, very easy way.
Yeah. All right. I did some deep diving.
Okay.
So number one is BD1. BD1 appeared in Book of Boba Fett, but it wasn't BD1. It's BD72. Pelimoto had BD-72. The other one is Corran Horn, which was game debut in Star Wars X-Wing. Not a wonderful game, but it appeared in Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
so it was a Legends character.
Cube's son? Is that him?
Maybe. Oh boy. All right, now diving again. Here we go. Sorry, I'm the
dive back in. Derek came up for air. Go back down.
Am I the Google guy now?
Tonight you are.
Oh, boy. Well, actually, I kind of like this.
He's the man in the chair.
Wow. No.
All right. So what else we got here? So, and I'm not. You guys probably, Mike and Nick probably know these names better, but the High Republic, it says Luke learned more major High Republic threats, including Nihil.
The Nile.
Nihil.
Well, I mean, yeah, it doesn't really matter how you pronounce anything in Star Wars, but yes, the Nile.
No, he's the force sensitive boy.
Dranger.
Whoa.
That makes sense.
Dranger, the force consuming nameless.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
we talked about
nameless
them.
Are a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a huge deal in the High Republic books because the Nile actually used them to sort of combat the powers or hunt down the Jedi. There's a main character. The books are 5 years old. There's a main character who dies to one of these creatures in a pretty brutal way. So without going into even more spoilers, I guess they are pretty fearsome and crazy.
Yeah. Well, and it says in the last part of this says this demonstrates how much ancient Jedi history Luke recovered while searching the galaxy for the lost records and artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
So which is pretty cool. And that's part of the what's the name of that Sith book that we like, Mike? That helps
Shadow of the Sith.
Yeah, Shadow of the Sith. There's a little bit of that style of, him trying to find some of these artifacts with Lando, which is sort of cool as well.
Yeah. So my hope is that this book sort of is obviously a nod to all the things we've talked about, but also almost a setup, because we've all been begging for a Luke Skywalker Jedi Temple show. But if we ever actually dive into that and get to see Luke go off and find all those artifacts and stuff, like this would be the setup for it. He's talking about getting all these artifacts and learning all the history of the Jedi, but actually seeing that is a completely different thing. In an animated series, that would be pretty great. Like, I just imagine Yoda in season 6 of the Clone Wars, but instead of Yoda, it's Luke going around the galaxy and finding all these crazy artifacts.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we got a whole bunch of people on here tonight. So if you guys want, please jump in here. Let us know where you're listening from. I know we have some UK. I know we have some Minnesota people on here tonight.
Oh.
So appreciate you guys jumping in. But throw your comments in the chat here. That's all I got for that book. But I thought that was pretty cool. If you guys haven't, go ahead.
Oh no! I said I'm coming up for air again. I'm back up for air. So what I was thinking. So here's where I was mistaken. I think I was thinking that Iden Versio was mentioned in something, but she wasn't. But she, the character or the woman that played her, let me get the Janina Gavarnkar. Okay, she was at the last celebration in her whole uniform and everything, and they made a big deal of it. So I was thinking that she was going to be in something. That was my mistake. So I was thinking that from Battlefront 2, especially with like Operation Cinder and all of that, that she was in something. So there might be something, but we haven't seen anything from her. So I'm still deep diving. I'm gonna go back underwater. I'm gonna find some more.
her character would be perfect if they ever did like Rangers of the New Republic.
Oh,
be like a cool, you know what I mean?
So
and
good.
Especially to your point, Derek, when we got the name drop of Cinder in The Mandalorian, I was like, oh, here we go. And then
so that was where I was messed up, because I was like, I was putting those together and I was like, I thought there was something with Iden, but it was actually that she was at Celebration.
And speaking of that story and this last book, great cutscene of Luke treasure hunting if anyone hasn't seen it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
YouTube that up.
Well, there's also, I guess, in Star Wars Outlaws, it's the reverse. You have characters like Kira, and I think Jabba's probably dead by then, right? Or I forget. You go to Jabba's palace at some point, or Boba Fett. Boba Fett's in the Jedi games, so you have crossovers the opposite way, I guess. Plenty of those.
I feel like in the old games, they would either put a legacy character in there, or the characters that the game made up were gonna die anyway. So it was like, you know, cool, like Ram Koda, depending on like what you do with him, either dies or not. So it's like, we don't know if he makes it.
Yeah,
but that'd be a cool character to throw in. Ram Koda honestly might be more like good version of Balin, you know. So like you said before, concepts come out of games all the time, like
exactly.
But
all right, I'm coming up for air again. Are you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Here's why it sparked my ADHD neurons, because she talked about Tales of the Jedi at the 2022 celebration. So when you started talking about Tales of the Jedi, I was like, there was some, you all messed me up. That's what it is. You messed me up. So I'm going to put that in the chat here, and then I'm going to stop diving. I've got to stop diving for the night. I can't handle this. This is too much work.
You're not supposed to float up to the top all at once.
Don't tell me what to do. You're not my dad.
Slowly. You get the bend.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still living off the high of the popcorn buckets. So,
so the next thing I want to talk about, which I think is going to be pretty cool, is this book that just dropped, which is going to be pretty awesome. I think that the information we're going to get from this is going to be pretty cool. With them training, actually, sorry, it just dropped that it's going to be coming out. It's confirmed. It's not dropped like Legacy did yesterday. So we have Luke and Leia, and Luke is training Leia. What's your guys' thoughts on this?
I mean, I think it's exactly what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Leia is such a great character in Star Wars, and everybody who watched the original trilogy was waiting to see her, because she's a Skywalker, wield the Force, wield the lightsaber, whatever you want to call it. And when the sequels roll around, and you just, like, she's still just the general Leia Organa. Yes, you see her, you know, go Mary Poppins and stuff, but
that's not Mary Poppins. No, of course.
But you don't really see her have that, like, you don't get to see her craft her lightsaber or anything like that, and that's exactly what this book's going to give us. The very small amount of time that Leia trained with Luke, built her own lightsaber, and we actually get to see Luke train his technically first apprentice, which is his own sister. So it's something that fans have been looking forward to for a really, really long time, fans of the Leia character specifically, but also getting to see Luke and how they sort of talk about the future, because we know that Leia decides not to train because of her son, and we'll get so much more information about that and what she sees or feels or whatever. Maybe she's having Force visions like Anakin did. Like, it'll give us so much more in terms of all that stuff for Luke and Leia, which is going to be great.
Nick?
A lot of Leia content.
Agreed.
A lot of Leia content recently.
Can't go wrong with that. You can't go wrong with it. Well,
Agreed.
No, you can't. unless it's the sequels, but you know, Mike already addressed it. It's fine. We haven't mic dropped at all tonight. That's the other sad thing.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right.
I'm just shocked. We brought out Cal Kestis and the Acolyte in the first 3 minutes, and no one's died.
Wait till we get to the Ahsoka stuff.
Lord, here we go.
There we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's why we're saving that till the end.
Yeah,
because that's some pretty meaty stuff. So I think this is, like you said, we're getting a lot of Leia stuff here. The Leia and Rey stuff and then the Leia and Luke stuff, which is going to be fantastic. And it's going to answer a bunch of these questions, I think, that we're still have on our mind, even from years ago. But that was one of my favorite parts in the sequels, to see this, what was it? I think it was about a 30-second, if that, and she actually puts Luke on his back, which is pretty crazy, and then she's like, all right, she's giving it up. I'm done. I saw a vision, and I don't want that to happen. And I think it'll be interesting to see what transpires from that, because again, we know that even though her giving up and not doing that doesn't help Kylo at all, he still goes to the dark side. Mm-hmm. He's still, the bad guy in this, and he still turns no matter what she does. So I think that'll be interesting if they touch on that a little bit.
Well, it's the same way that Anakin's visions in the prequels. He sees his mom die. He sees Padme die. Both of those things, he did not stop. So Leia seeing whatever she sees, if it's her son fall to the dark side or whatever, that she doesn't stop it, but she thinks she's trying to, the same way Anakin thinks he's trying to stop Padme from dying, but really he's not.
Yeah, I was going to say too, like, she, as much as we like don't include her in like things we want to see in like these other shows, sometimes she's still also just as much the flesh and blood of Anakin and Padme as Luke is. And I think like George Lucas even kind of teed it up that way. Like, I think when you look at the two in the original trilogy, like Leia may be more prepared for the role Luke takes than Luke is,
Yeah.
That might be also Yoda's opinion, so to speak. Right. So like
there is another.
And or eventually in Return of the Jedi, Vader's opinion. So she's also like, the natural leader that her mom is, and, the courageous one that they both are, that sort of thing. So being able to see that when she's not, rest in peace, we all love her, when she's not like very aged and out of the game, Carrie Fisher, even if it's in a book, is what we're all like hoping for, And to your point, Mike, like not just her training, but like the whole thing with her fears about Ben or giving Ben to Luke and how that all works out. Like, that whole situation, I don't feel like when we saw it, the general public like felt for, because we didn't see it. We're just being told about it, So, and that's a big deal. Go ahead.
How about this comment from Max Rebo?
Yeah.
Palpatine
could be the one who plays about that.
Yeah. Well, my take on this is almost as if maybe Palpatine's looking at it from, Exegol, going, if Luke makes his Jedi temple, I can take Leia's son and turn him to the dark side. Another Skywalker, I can do that. But if Leia and Luke are both Jedi, maybe I can't.
Do it. Yeah.
So if he's placing visions in her head just to stop her from being a Force wielder or a lightsaber wielder in the first place, that would be so freaking cool. And when somehow Palpatine Returns happens, it like pans over to Leia and she's like, "Told you so," or like you almost feel like she knows something. That would be crazy.
I feel the opposite. Like, I feel like we know how powerful he is, but I also feel like at that point, if he's also working with Leia and like influencing her, like he's probably trying, but I kind of feel like the one thing that Leia has is her disconnection from that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's also like new to the Force. She's almost like very impressionable.
Or does she really have it?
Well, she married Papa.
Yeah. and in the books and all that, but like, could it be that she was just so in tune with her family and the people that, like, I mean, that's the Force technically. Yeah. But like, I just don't want to think that, like, I think Palpatine probably could try to get into her head, but I don't know. I would love to hear what the chat has to think about that.
I feel like he could get in her head like a time or two, the way he could get into Anakin's a time or two.
Yeah,
but
Anakin's the chosen one.
Yeah, but get into Ben's all day long, live rent free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I guess that's how I would scale that. But I feel like, to your point, Derek, Leia's reservations would be more like, I hate to say real compared to the Force, but like they would be more, like you said, being in touch with like how do I put it? Like being realistic about what's going to happen to my family. Like I don't feel good about this.
Yeah,
or
and
I don't know.
Nick, I'm with you. Like I don't really know how to put it, but there's something. Yeah, that's why I want to kind of hear what the chat has to say about it. Like I'm like
in A New Hope, she's the only adult in the room other than Obi-Wan who's not with them, right? Like it's her, Luke, Han, Chewie. She's the only adult in the hallway, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like she'd be the one, rather than I feel something, like she says in like Empire or Return of the Jedi, when she's like kind of discovering it. She'd be more the one to be like, yeah, more practical. My mother says, like, more grounded and being like, man, I got a lot of stuff on my plate and I'm not thinking about my son right now. Whatever.
KG and April bring up a good point. If you could pull those up.
Which one? This one?
KG first, yeah. So that makes a good point that, like, it's easier to get the head of a child. But then April said, wasn't there a Chuck Winding book that taught, and somebody can fact check that. I'm not deep diving on that one. I'm sorry, I'm done. I'm exhausted. The deep dive and try to listen to the chat is too hard.
Is that one of the Aftermath books?
It might be. Let me see.
I feel like that rings a bell.
My before we get into that, I would sort of be a little disappointed for me in reference to Palpatine getting in everybody's mind. I mean, at that point, it's like, he could sort of just, why not get in everybody's mind, and Luke and all these other Jedi and stuff like that. If he's able to get into Luke and Leia's mind and trying to tell them things like that. And same with Anakin. Is that proven, or is that confirmed that Palpatine?
I think it's headcanon.
Yeah, no, it's not confirmed.
I think it's headcanon.
I will say, whenever Yoda talks about sort of the future or Force visions or whatever, he always says like the future is uncertain. Like these Force visions that they see are not actually confirmed to actually happen, I suppose, because the future is ever changing and they can't possibly actually see the actual future. I will say, to combat that, though, Palpatine tapping into everybody's heads, it's just 3 people, and I guess the importance of those 3 people would be Anakin and Anakin's attachment to his mom and his attachment to Palpatine and his attachment to Padme, but also the similarity between Ben and Leia would be they're very much new to the Force, because Leia never was tapped into the Force before that, and Ben is obviously very young.
Ooh, but Palpatine says, I am all the Sith.
True.
Yeah.
But he says, I have been every voice that you've ever heard, and he says it as Vader, he says it as Snoke, and he says it as himself.
So he was controlling them too. Like he was using, I don't know. I mean, AI is important. Was he using AI? I don't know.
It's the concept that, at least in The Force Awakens, we're led to believe that Kylo is hearing the voice of Vader as he's, talking to Vader's mask, saying, "Tell me again, grandfather. I feel the pull to the light," whatever. So that's Palpatine. We know that. That's a fact. Whether he can do that to anybody else, well, I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you could headcanon that, like, his main game prior to, like, letting it all hang out in Revenge of the Sith was, like, manipulating what Jedi could see and couldn't see.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the whole, again, bring up Plagueis novel, A lot of dense stuff in there. I know it's not canon, but you can kind of reason that it is.
It's Nick's head canon, though.
Right. I mean, that's how they make canon these days anyway. They take pieces of it, but it's the whole reason they're able to like build the whole Sith thing the way they did was with tactics like that or with abilities like that. And I can't imagine, especially maybe Plagueis book, but just logically, I can't imagine he can just do it. I think it's very difficult, but made a lot easier if someone's very vulnerable. So like Anakin's super vulnerable, and probably a lot easier to do it to the whole Jedi Order when they're in total denial that he even exists, right? Like, and I think the more, if he's just a corpse on a machine come the time of the sequels or the time of Leia training or whatever, the only game he's got is that, he's just sitting there working on it. So if in the span of 30 years he gets into their head a couple of times, it's probably takes a toll. And but I agree. I don't see like Luke being like so easy to do it to. I see Ben being real easy to do it to, and I guess we have it confirmed that he was. But I think Leia's is out of an actual conscience, and Luke's was out of like the natural. I saw a vision like he does in Empire. I don't think Palpatine put that vision in his head when he's in Dagobah. I think he saw his friends dying, and Yoda's like, "You don't know that," and that one didn't come true. So.
Yeah,
I think
Holly had a good point. Luke had visions and felt their pain. So there's some things of like why he turned off the Force.
Yeah,
it's like, was he feeling a lot of those connections that Palpatine had?
Yeah,
interesting.
Or is he like so tapped in that he shut himself off because he couldn't handle it? Like you remember the movie like Bruce Almighty when he's like and he's like hearing everybody's prayers. He's like, dude, I need like an answer machine or something.
Do I need to watch the sequels again?
Yeah. But we don't experience we don't experience that, but we're told that, right? Like we're given the context, and I could see like, man, if he feels that way and then he feels whatever everyone at his own temple felt or whatever, Leia's feeling, I don't know, but
yeah,
that could be
interesting.
We have some royalty in the house tonight. The Boba Fett, John from Clan Mandalorian is here.
Gosh.
So appreciate you jumping on here, buddy.
This chat right now is this chat is strong right now. We've got some goats. The Boba Fett even said it. We've got some goats in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll be with him next week. We're hanging out at Rebel Con. Jimmy, Brandon. So it should be fun. I know Holly's going to be down there, so get to say hello and meet up with Holly again. So that'll be fun. Bunch of cool people will be down in there. Haja, welcome. Haven't seen you in a bit. Welcome. Appreciate you being here.
Ron, what are the details for that?
For Rebel ScumCon?
Yeah.
They are Frisco, Texas. Next weekend, whatever next weekend's dates are. I can't even remember. Flying on Thursday.
Friday is the 7th because
I have a
hockey tournament.
Okay, so 7, 8, and 9. It's a ton of Star Wars actors, actresses, characters, whatever. It's a little mini celebration, which is cool. I have not been before. I watched something with Jimmy the other day, Explore the Force. He had one of the guys that does a big party, and I even forget the name of the party. I bought a ticket for it, but I think it's Friday night. I think we're all going to go. But that's going to be fun. It's like an after party or something like that. But ton of people. I got a media pass, which is cool. So I have to fill that out tomorrow and see who I get to go ahead and interview, which will be fun. I don't think it's going to be like an hour or 2 hour interview with people, but hopefully I'll be able to get to ask some questions. I'll definitely be doing a bunch of live stuff, a bunch of TikTok and Instagram things. So excited to meet these guys in person as well. Like I said, Jimmy, Brandon, and John, and then another buddy of theirs, Manny, who I haven't met yet. So looking forward to that. So which will be fun. Let's see what else do we got in here.
Well, and I did see some of like the people that got to stay on the Galactic Star Cruiser go into that. So I think they're doing a little meetup too. So
nice.
Unfortunately, Ron and I did not get to. Oh my, we were so close, and then they
got rid of it. Yeah, that would have been fun. We would have been a lot poorer, but it still would have been pretty.
Ron, I'm still poor. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
TJ and Paul are going to be there as well. TJ does an amazing cosplay with Asajj, and Paul has a really cool stormtrooper or clone trooper cosplay as well. But he's an amazing tattoo artist. I think he's actually going to be there tattooing next weekend, which will be cool. They'll have a little tattoo section set up over there as well.
I don't have any Star Wars tattoos at all.
Me either. I don't know what you're talking about.
Ron had them first. I copied Ron. So I did. That actually, when Ron and I met, that was that in Miami Dolphins.
Star Wars and the Dolphins, yeah.
Yep. I was like, you have Star Wars tattoos? Like, do you like Star Wars? He's like, yeah.
Yeah, John, no, I totally get it. Yeah, he's like, my credit card will be watching me. Yeah, it's going to be,
goodness.
I'm bringing an extra suitcase just for some stuff to bring back so I don't have to mail it all. Not that I need any more, but, you know, it's always fun.
I got to get on Paul's books someday.
Yeah. Yeah, he's an amazing artist, dude.
Yeah.
He's in,
we should do that live.
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah, all of us. Mike, do you have any tattoos?
No, but
well, suck it up, Buttercup. Let's get going. How does the youngest guy not have any tattoos? How do all the old guys have sleeves? Ron's covered. Nick, you don't have a ton though.
Kind of.
Yeah, you're hit and miss. Yeah, you're hit and miss. I've got like sleeves and oh my goodness.
I don't have any. Mike, if you were gonna get a Star Wars tattoo, what would it be?
Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy. You know what I'd do? I'd do a massive mythosaur skull on my shoulder so I could be like Boba Fett.
And you wouldn't even have to have any armor. You could just
I know. No, I'd tattoo my entire body as armor for a Mandalorian.
I saw this video. I don't know if I sent it to you or shoot. I hope I did, but of this guy who has his whole leg is just like random Star Wars characters, like only the most random. So he has like the kid that says, Master Skywalker, what are we gonna do? He has like the Rancor trainer. They're all like in realism, so they look great. He has I think he has like Newt Gunray, like just a bunch of side people, and it's awesome. It's whole leg up to his hip.
Would you guys want to see us all getting tattooed?
Yeah.
Mike is getting a little nervous. Look at him. He's like,
yeah, I don't know about that one.
You're the youngest guy here. This should be the easy for you, bud.
I want to see Mike get Broom Boy.
Oh my God, I'll pay for it, Mike. I will pay for you to get Broom Boy. Oh my God.
Have like Broom Boy on.
I'll get Broom Boy over here and put that's Mike.
You could have Mike get Broom Boy and one of us get the broom. And whenever Mike just like puts his arm up, we
all right, Mike. All right, everybody. I'm gonna double down.
Genius.
If Mike gets Broom Boy, I will put Mike's logo on my arm right here.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
And I'll pay for both of them.
Wow.
That's pretty funny.
Look at him. Look at him. He's thinking. Max Rebo said Mike needs $999.99 super chat. Hey everybody. Also, we're desperately trying to get to that point for this podcast. So please share, like, all of those things and go back and watch even if you play them in the background. I don't even care. Just get the plays. We need the plays. We have the followers. We need the plays.
Thanks.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
Fun little plug there.
What
Absolutely.
you guys? What non-main Star Wars character would you get tattooed? And I mean like down the totem pole, not like a Cal Kestis.
Death Trooper,
Okay.
Revan. I've got a
I think
Gaffy
Revan's
stick.
a little too main.
yeah. Revan's pretty main.
Okay.
For his story.
Samurai Darth Vader. Ron's
Okay.
covering me up. The Samurai Darth Vader over here. My Gaffy stick. I mean, not main character. How about Darth Maul Donald Duck?
Okay.
Well, Darth
Beat
Maul's
that.
main.
Yeah.
Beat that.
How about Ben Quaternaros?
My
I'll
dad
do
just
it.
threw up a Boss Nass. That's nasty.
There you go.
I would do that.
I'll do some like
But
off the
him,
wall
like,
tattoos.
it
I'm
had to be-
more than fine doing that.
It'd have to be Boss Nass like mid when he's going. "Moo," you know? Yeah.
Saliva flying out of his mouth.
Yeah,
Broom Boy.
Yeah,
of course.
man, I
Roast
would do
Nico.
Boss Nass. Ooh,
Oof. Yeah, that would be.
Mike, how would you feel if somebody had a tattoo of your podcast?
I honestly don't know how I'd react to that.
Well,
That'd be
when you
crazy.
get your first Broom Boy tattoo, you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna feel.
50
Jar
Thunder
Jar
versus
Inks.
Jar Jar Inks.
Yeah, so one of the ones I want to do is Goofy as Jar Jar because Disney did a whole line. That's why I did the Darth Maul Donald Duck because Disney did a line of toys, and but Goofy was Jar Jar and he was also Cad Bane, and me being Dark Side, I kind of thought, I don't know. We could vote on these too at some point. I could put them in the chat. Not this
Yeah.
episode. That's a whole nother episode. We have derailed so far, but yeah, I mean, this whole arm is gonna get finished in a sleeve of Disney characters, but all of them have multiples, so you guys could pick.
It's a trap.
That would be a great tattoo.
Yeah, Akbar counts. That'd be good.
Oh, I'd get Akbar. I'd get it right on my neck. No, that's not gonna happen.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
That's pretty funny.
It's a trap.
All right. We're almost an hour into this, and I know we got a little sidetracked, but we got to talk about some of this Ahsoka stuff. Yeah, a
We
little
don't
bit.
have
I mean,
to.
it's still Star Wars.
Wait.
I mean, no tattoos.
got-
and,
I don't remember we got sidetracked. When was that?
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of non-main characters as well, because I have quite a few Star Wars tattoos. But
I
we're going to talk
might,
about
I might
Ahsoka.
consider a Newt Gunray. Let me think about it.
Really?
A Zam Wessel
Dude, I
as she's
love
dying.
Newt Gunray. Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
So do
mean,
well.
love-
So Sam Wetzel, do you get the
yeah,
human
as she's
face?
dying.
Okay,
No,
so
no,
like
as
the
she's
Oh.
shrinking. Because none of mine, I don't have any
Sand
like actual
person.
people's faces. Mine
Oh.
are all characters. I don't have Obi-Wan as I don't have Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan or anything like that.
Mhm.
Everybody is
Derek's
so-
flexing on us.
Well, Lane says Tuscan Raider, and I'm like, I got my Gaffy sticker. Right. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
There you go. Tools of the trade.
there you go. Chopper wants to know what your first tattoo was.
Who?
Derek.
First
Oh,
tattoo.
everybody?
Sure, Derek.
Mine. I got 2 in the first day, so it was like, oh no, wrong arm. This one up here, and then in here. This. Let's see if I can turn it that way. This in here. Oh, Ryan, you're killing me. All right, I'm just gonna look at my arm. This right here in my Star Wars sleeve, which this is Samurai Darth Vader right here. It's upside down because I can't turn my arm that way. But yeah, so I got 2 in the same day for my 18th birthday, and my mom took me to get them because she's
Nice.
awesome.
Nice. I know you don't have any, Mike. Nick, what was your first?
Lame.
First tattoo ever or first Star Wars tattoo?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I
sure.
got this
Oh.
one first. I don't know if you can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then, but my first Star Wars tattoo is my Palpatine tattoo. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
but
so good.
It's very. I need to take better care of them. Oh, there we go.
Hey.
Let's just do a real
picture that for me. Yeah.
Show them the guns. Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Ooh,
so good.
that's so good.
Hey, I got some guys that can do some touch-ups in Nashville for you. We're good.
Yeah, I actually do need it, and I want Paul to add his face to it. I was too nervous of the artist that I got to do the face, so it's open.
Wow.
Let's talk about that after this.
Yeah,
I got a guy down there.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jessica just asked. I have 2 lightsabers on my fingers. I have Darth Vader's and Yoda's.
So I wanted the gaffy stick that I've got here on my middle finger, and they wouldn't do it. They're like,
Why?
it's gonna fade. It's not gonna look good, and
Oh,
also
it
like
does. I've had the red one done like 4 times, and it sucks right on the bone. The green one
Yeah.
actually stays.
well,
stays
and
pretty
so
well.
this came out of a book that they paid for from somebody else. It's like a famous artist out of Pittsburgh, and he like specializes in Star Wars flash tattoos, like traditional style tattoos of Star Wars. And so like I was like, I want that on my finger, and they're like, no. I'm like, well, I respect
Man.
that. He said no, so let's
Yeah.
put it here.
No.
Like, why not? So I just keep doing this all night.
Derek, would it be legal
not.
for you? Derek, would it be legal for you to make your hockey stick into like a gaffy stick looking hockey stick?
We're gonna find out. Actually, I have a tournament next weekend. I'm
How can we make that happen?
Yeah.
ask, and I will go out to the garage after the show and start to whittle.
Yeah.
I think all my hockey sticks are made out of carbon fiber, so I don't know how that'll work. But I'll give it the old college try.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, Max Rebo said he's in Pittsburgh, so let me get the name of this guy. I'll get it.
All right. Let's talk
Ahsoka
about
season
Ahsoka
2.
Ahsoka, that's
We'll do
not
a
fun. Let's
tattoo-
talk
we'll do a
about
tattoo.
tattoos.
We'll
Hey,
do a
speaking-
tattoo episode sometime.
Speaking of skin markings, Ahsoka.
Yes.
That's right.
There you go. Good
Exactly.
segue, guys. Totally planned.
Right. Mike, you want to start us off?
Sure. Yeah. So some pretty crazy stuff for Ahsoka season 2 in about 2-ish weeks, 2.5 weeks, I suppose. The weekend after Rebel Scum Con for Ron is D23. And if you don't know what that is, it's pretty much just, Disney's version of a Comic-Con where all their specific IPs get big old updates, Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, etc. And for Star Wars, it's going to be a pretty big year this year because there was no Star Wars Celebration. And we got a Star Wars movie coming out next year with Starfighter and Ahsoka Season 2. So for those 2 projects specifically, I'm sure there'll be other announcements too, but for those 2 projects specifically, rumor has it, and this has not been confirmed by Lucasfilm, but it's coming from like 30 different very reliable sources at this point, we will be getting a Ahsoka Season 2 trailer and a Starfighter trailer. Now, let me preface that Ahsoka Season 2, the latest we've heard is that the trailer will not be shown publicly. Starfighters will, but Ahsoka's will not. Likely it will be, recorded on a 50-year-old horrible camera quality. I don't know how it happens, but it's always how it happens. And that will be leaked out, and it will be great. It'll be fine. We'll live. Or there'll be a description of it that will be leaked out, and which is still good until we get the actual official one. The Starfighter trailer will be, I'm hearing, over 2 minutes long and wild. But specifically, Ahsoka Season 2, we got a crazy leak about what that trailer will entail.
Okay, cool. I was just going to ask you if you knew about that, which I figured you
Yes.
did, and you have the details for that as well.
I got it right here, yes.
Okay, cool.
So
got it right.
it's shots and sequences from the D23 trailer. First one, and I want to kind of go one by one here with you guys because they're really crazy. The first one being non-Force Ghost Anakin. Obviously, we know Anakin's in Season 2, but non-Force Ghost Anakin in a new outfit. That's the words they use. New outfit. So I guess my question to you guys is, what the hell's happening here? A non-Force Ghost Anakin?
Sounds like a new skin for a video game.
But
that's going to cost you $20.
New action figure.
New outfit
Well-
means even if it's flashbacks, it's not Clone Wars because we got Clone Wars Anakin in season 1. It's not Jedi robes because that's not a new outfit. And there is actually somebody asked about in the comments of this post from this scooper that said anything about Mortis. That was the question that they asked in the comments. And their response was possibly relates to Anakin's new outfit. So my initial thought goes to, in Ahsoka season 2, what Baylan Skoll's looking for is pretty much Mortis, and how in Clone Wars they get transported to this place out of space and time where in the real world they're not even gone for a split second, and Captain Rex has no idea that they went anywhere, but in their minds, or from their perspective, they're gone for like weeks, and they're on this place called Mortis. In my initial thought when I hear Anakin, non-Force Ghost Anakin in a new outfit, is present day, not a flashback, present day Anakin physically on Mortis. And he can appear physically on Mortis because Mortis is not in the physical realm of Star Wars. But what do you guys think?
Dan Jammin just said White Vader. I've got White Vader Lego back here.
Ooh, yeah, White
Hold on.
Vader from What
Right.
If, yeah.
Yeah, let me go grab that.
Or from the Lego thing, I mean.
Would this count as new if he's just in the little bit different robes that he's in as a Force Ghost in Return of the Jedi Special Edition? Because his robes in that are very like OG Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Brown shirt, white tunic, you know.
I don't think so because, well, we saw it at the end of Return of the Jedi, and we see his Force Ghost at the end of season 1.
But
And
he's
this
in
is
his
not-
classic robes in that,
True.
you know.
True.
Ooh, look at that.
I
Oh, no.
really don't think he's going to look like that.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
it
not with
would've
that
said-
attitude, he won't.
Well, it does say
Come on,
non-Force
camera.
Ghost Anakin, not non-Force Ghost Vader.
Mhm.
But it's just very strange that he's, 1, in a new outfit, and 2, not a Force Ghost. Like, why would he be in the trailer as not a Force Ghost? That's, first of all, giving us so much information in a trailer, and second of all, not makes any sense at all.
What about
Well-
are there any reports still about like other flashbacks with, I know there were rumors about like Ewan McGregor and
Ewan.
Natalie Portman, that sort of thing.
Yes. So the Natalie Portman stuff is kind of fizzled out. There's the, I
She's
guess,
pregnant too.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
she's pregnant.
well, yeah.
Well, that could work.
But what we did find out was sort of that Natalie Portman did film stuff or was on set or something like that for the Kenobi series that was ultimately cut. And so that's sort of where I think those rumors come from. But the Ewan McGregor stuff, there's no like he's definitely going to be in season 2 that I've been hearing, but there's so much of speculation of they think he's in season 2. So that would have to be a flashback, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that flashback involves Anakin and young Ahsoka, and Ariana's back as young Ahsoka, which would be great. How else are you going to explain the Mortis gods without going back to it? Especially when the person explaining the Mortis gods will be Ahsoka to Sabine. But this non-Force Ghost Anakin, the fact that they're putting it in the trailer is crazy.
Yeah, that's the big thing, I think, because they're putting this stuff out there, sort of like they did with the Mandalorian and Grogu, and I'm sure there'll be some, fake outs and different things like that, to not give it away too much. But I think that it'll be interesting, and that's my thought. I'm guessing that it's going to be some sort of flashback, but, what kind of attire is he going to be in, especially if he's not going to be in as a Force Ghost. So it'll be interesting to see how they do that. And like you said, Mike, yeah, putting it out on the trailer like that is pretty crazy, especially with nothing to back it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely trying to get people's attention, because immediately you're going, what is happening here? And then you're going to start to dissect. I mean, we don't have the scene, but you're going to start to dissect what's going on behind him. Where is he? What is happening? Like, that scene alone might steal the entire trailer, because it's Anakin, first and foremost. It's the chosen one, and he's not a Force ghost in the trailer. With season 1, they tried to hide the fact that he was even in the show. Season 2, they're putting it right in front of our faces. So, and it's not like he has to be in season 2. They could easily do season 2 without Anakin, but they are not.
And why should they?
Why should they is right.
Not why would they? Why should they?
Well,
Right.
I guess it always harpens back to the idea that he's supposed to be the father. He's supposed to take the role and I guess keep balance in the Force itself. That's what we learn in the Mortis God arc. But as Nick always brings up, and it's a great point, those Mortis gods were living beings, and then they died. Anakin's already dead, so how can he take that role? But I don't know. New outfit throws me off.
I also wonder if even because like you guys just said, if he's in the trailer, then we really won't know until we actually see it. Because like that, you would think like last season, bringing him in would be a part of like the meat of the show later. If they're willing to show him in the trailer, I am not confident in any of my predictions anymore. Right? Like
No.
I will have no idea what's in store for it.
And what's our D23 countdown?
It's like
A couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
16 days, I think.
Yeah, we're almost in August. So
Yeah.
Again, I'm not predicting that we're going to get anything like movie or anything like that related or series related, but they always have like little things. A lot of it is usually toys and things like that are leaks that you don't really realize they're leaks.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think with this Anakin thing too, I go back to the Abeloth theory where there's been nothing from Lucasfilm to confirm Abeloth's involvement in this second season at all, or if that's truly the person calling out to Balin. But still, the ability that she has to appear to somebody as someone she's not, and to, appear to Ahsoka as Anakin and as a non-Force ghost Anakin in a new outfit. She could do that, and it might be in the trailer to make you think it's Anakin, but it's actually not, and it's just a hallucination in Ahsoka's head. That would be even more wild.
Yeah.
Well, and like if Mortis itself isn't a big misdirect, then like what we see of Anakin in a trailer, like almost certainly feels like it would be. So I could, see that being kind of like both points you just made. The point that I always bring up, like we might see Anakin in Mortis and go like, oh yeah, he finally is the father. And like, that's actually Abeloth. You know what I mean? Like it's because the math don't work out, but that'd be crazy.
I just want the classic, but in a lot of movies that have a big twist where Ahsoka's having a conversation with Anakin, and you think it's all real, and you think he's on Mortis, and you think he's the father, and then he says one thing wrong, and you immediately catch it, and you go, wait, did he just say that? And then Ahsoka catches it, and she's like, you're not Anakin. Like, I need that crazy, oh my God, did that just happen thing with Anakin, and if Abeloth is going to be revealed like that.
Well, and I think that's the part too that we might see, maybe not even a flashback, but have some sort of vision where she's, dreaming it or whatever, and that's where all of a sudden she wakes up, or she talks about this vision where we might see him if he's not going to be a Force ghost. Because there's a lot of speculation behind that whole thing with him not being a Force ghost, and I don't think, like we talked about, I don't think that they're going to go into the World Between Worlds again. I mean, maybe they might. I mean, maybe they'll use it a little bit, but for the most part, unless it's so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ezra got in there just because he was able to figure out how to get there. But most people that are already in there are either dying or on their way to, and then come back somehow, sort of like, Ahsoka did there. And then sort of like, Ezra pulls her in there before. So is there something in that effect that we're missing, where we might go back into the world between worlds again, or the world between worlds, or what?
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I really hope we don't go back to the world between worlds in season 2, because I think it's something that needs to be very scarcely used.
Yes.
And it just shouldn't happen. So we only saw Anakin 3 different ways in season 1, which was a hologram, training hologram, which is obviously not this. A Force ghost, which it clearly says non-Force ghost, and in the world between worlds. And I really don't think we're going back there. So it would have to be something completely different.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think the world between worlds is one of those things that needs to stay mysterious.
Yeah.
Force ghosts, maybe not. Right.
Right.
I do appreciate them being mysterious, but another like tie-in to like Force ghosts and world between worlds is that Yoda is in there talking to Ezra, and the only person at that point, other than Obi-Wan's training for it, but the only person in the whole world other than Obi-Wan training for it who knows how to figure out this thing is Yoda. So he's maybe like figured out like, well, there's something with when I talk to Qui-Gon and talk to all these other people who have made it, like there's also this other thing, and that's how he's able to talk to Ezra. So maybe that's also implied with the reason Anakin's there. Like I believe Anakin's actually there. It's not just like an apparition in Ahsoka's head, as some people say.
Yeah.
I think that's like a real experience. But that being said, I think we've put the next world between worlds date out a very long time.
Yeah.
In this case, so I think it can get a little bit convoluted if we just keep bringing it back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with that, because because then you can do anything at that point. It's sort of like the whole
nothing costs anything,
right? The whole time, going back in time or whatever, you can go back and okay, I'm gonna go back here and make sure that they live or whatever the case may be. So I like it where it's at. I enjoyed what they've done with it so far, because we haven't had a lot of it, even in Rebels. We got it. It was cool that Ahsoka was able to live through it twice now, which is pretty amazing. But they're not overdoing it, where I think sometimes they do a little bit in Marvel with the time variance and all that stuff. I don't know if you guys watch Loki, but I mean, there's so many different things going on. It's just like you can go here and there and say, so I'm glad that Star Wars and Lucasfilm has sort of stuck to, hey, we're not going to overuse this.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think
with
go ahead. I think it was cool too that like it wasn't just this like device to save Ahsoka. Like they could have written that Ahsoka gets away, but chose to use it as like an interesting thing that eventually winds up being like a very important thing that Ezra is protecting from the one guy who can't get a hold of that, which is Palpatine. And it's kind of this weird, if we're going to tie like Force ghosts and this whole like understanding that Yoda and Qui-Gon are trying to figure out that the Sith will never figure out, like that's why like Palpatine can't figure it out, like he needs to manipulate someone to do it because he can't figure whatever this nebulous thing is out. And I like that they turned it into this thing that Ezra's gonna like close the door on forever, and it's gonna do its thing when it wants. But like I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, guys.
No, that's okay. You sound like you just pulled a Derek. It's okay.
I do like what you're talking about, though, because it's not so much like it's easily accessible. It's not, clearly. And you can't really, like, Palpatine can't get in, obviously. Everybody who was
not with that attitude, he can't.
Everybody who was, researching that on Lothal could not get in. Ezra's the only one who can sort of figure it out with the help of Sabine and others. But then when he comes back out of it, it's vanished. It's gone. Mm-hmm. And the idea that Ahsoka gets pulled out, you just mentioned it too. Like, they didn't have to do that. She could have, like, Vader walks away from that fight. Ahsoka could have too. And the same thing, I guess, with the Ahsoka series as well. But I like the idea that the World Between Worlds, I guess, is explained a little bit in Rebels, because when Ezra realizes, holy crap, I just saved Ahsoka, he goes, I can save Kanan too. So he runs off to go try and save Kanan, and Ahsoka has to explain to him that this can't happen. The difference between Ahsoka and Kanan is Ahsoka was about to die, and she never had an impact on what happens next, because always and forever she is pulled out of that scene. It's not something that just happened after the fact. It's not time travel. It's something that always happened in the flow of the Star Wars timeline. That's never something that didn't happen and then happened eventually. It always happened that way. Kanan, on the other hand, dies, and if Ezra pulls him out, it changes the entire flow of time and changes everything.
If Ezra pulls him out, they die.
They all die.
You know, like So
yeah. So I like that the World Between Worlds is not a time travel device. It's not the multiverse in Star Wars. It's something that just always is and always will be. It's a conduit between the living and the dead, but it's always something that is there. Ahsoka never died on Malachor 5. She was always rescued by Ezra. It just happens to be that Ezra was a couple of years older at that point. And the same thing with Ahsoka in the Ahsoka series. She's pulled in there by Anakin for the final lesson, of course, but she's pulled in there, and that's never something. She never dies falling into the water and then gets resurrected. She just goes in there and comes right back out.
Right.
It sounds confusing, but it is, but it's not.
It sounds confusing because it totally is.
Yeah.
But it's not time travel. That's the big, and it's not a means of transport either. I've heard all these theories of how do Sabine and Ahsoka get back from Peridia. Oh, they just hop in the World Between Worlds. That's not how it works.
No.
And in an era where we have like almost over explanation and over speculation, it's nice to have a couple things that are just mystical.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like the Force was in the originals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still
Exactly.
is to an extent.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get to the second point. That was just point number one. That was just point number one, although it was probably one of the biggest ones of these shots in the D23 trailer. Next is the Ghost involved, the ship obviously, involved in a space battle. A war in our Star Wars is coming. We knew that already. Thrawn is here. He's on Dathomir. And it seems as though Admiral Akbar and, oh my God. That is so awesome.
Shout out 50 Thunderer for dropping that name in the chat.
That is legendary. But yeah, so Thrawn is on Dathomir. We are going to get a war in our Star Wars, according to Dave Filoni. So the Ghost involved in a space battle is great. My mind immediately went to, Battle of Scarif, sort of, because the Ghost was there, and something of that sort above the planet of Dathomir would be really, really cool. And we're going to get to see pretty much, Rebels in live action.
Yeah. Well, and that's the cool part, I think, which is I loved watching Chopper as live action as much as, I know, Mike, you loved Rebels as well, but to see pretty much that whole cast become live action was really cool. And to see the Ghost being in a battle with everybody for this series is going to be pretty awesome. And the battles that they have are just incredible now. I mean, especially when the prequel started, and you just have these amazing battles that just look so realistic, which I think is so awesome nowadays. You feel like you're in that pilot seat with them, or you're in the next ship next to them, and being able to see the Ghost do that, depending on, especially if it's Hera flying, who's an amazing pilot, that'll be, pretty cool. Or even to see, Jason in there helping out, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll be Hera's sort of, last mission. Her last time flying the Ghost. They'll have to make it pretty epic, because it'll be her last time flying in the Ghost. Next on the list, we'll keep it moving here. Thrawn walks on his ship in another new outfit. Thrawn has a very iconic look. I don't really know what this quote unquote new outfit entails. He is the all white Imperial outfit. Somebody did bring up though yesterday in my chat that he might look like Ron. No. That the new outfit may be closer to sort of the transition, I guess, between Empire uniform and First Order uniform.
Yeah.
Similar to the way we got the transition between clone trooper armor and stormtroopers in the Bad Batch, like something like that with the transition to the First Order. It would be great to see Thrawn be the one to do that. Go, this stormtrooper armor is bad. Let's upgrade it, and then he's the one who designs the new armor. That would be awesome. Same with TIE fighters and Star Destroyers. Just a slight change of design that we have to the sequel trilogy. If Thrawn's involved in that,
yeah,
I'd be down for it.
Well, it'd be all of the advancements that they've made by the time you get to the sequels, that TIE fighters can go to light speed, that they can track light speed. That sounds like Thrawn stuff to me, right?
Oh, yeah.
Since when did they ever care about TIE fighters? And now he's coming back. But he might look pretty good in that like First Order black uniform. I don't know what the designation for him is. Like, I think he'd be higher up than Admiral at this point, But
yeah, I wonder what they'll call him. That would be interesting. But Thrawn walks onto a ship. Getting more of the Chimera is going to be great too. I envision a massive battle above Dathomir, and Thrawn's in control of all of it. Getting to see him behind the scenes, controlling an entire battle, controlling an entire fight above that planet. It's going to be great. Like, people complained about Thrawn in the first season because we only get 2.5 episodes of him, and he's sort of running for his life from 3 Jedi or Force wielders, and he's just trying to get off Peridia. We don't know why he's trying to run so quickly, but we know he's trying to run, and he's running from something. But we didn't get a lot of him, and for people who that's their first introduction to Thrawn, you didn't get to see him at his best. And season 2 is going to give you that, because he's going to be up against the New Republic with very limited resources, and he's going to win. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Well, but I also think that the people that were bitching about not seeing enough Thrawn, you're going to, and you have to understand that as a Star Wars fan. But you have so much other stuff that we're building up. You have to build up to how are they going to get to Peridia? You can't just be like, oh, okay, here we go. Okay, we got to go find Thrawn, and then we're going to have him in here for the whole season, because it is called Ahsoka for a reason. And when you have all these other characters in it, you have to pull back on some of them, and we have to learn a little bit more. We have to build that relationship again with Sabine and Ahsoka. We have to build that relationship, with Balin and Shin. So we have these other new characters coming in, and okay, now all of a sudden you pop Thrawn in here, and obviously he's going to be the bad guy. He's going to be a main character. Even in those 2 episodes, he's that he's a big deal. And now we're going to see a little bit more of him in this, which is going to be cool. And I also am very curious to see what type of other things we're going to learn about him that that we really don't know yet in canon, which will be fun to see being brought to live action and some more of his story, because like you said, Mike, he's going to be around for a minute, and this is going to be the first big battle that he's going to win. And it's almost like an Empire, style of winning, where the bad guys are going to win this, and then we'll see what happens after that, whether it's going to be Dave's movie or they move on to something else. But I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with Thrawn and his character.
Oh, yeah. And Chopper said, I want more Admiral Arlani and Mid-Captain Samacro. Oh, amazing characters.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah. Max said Filoni doesn't really like Zahn, and we talked about this in a past episode it was about a year ago, because it's coming up again at GalaxyCon here in Des Moines, where I got to talk to Timothy Zahn for a decent amount of time, and he was pretty vocal about a lot of the things, and like he was very hurt that he hadn't been called and hadn't been involved. And I was like, well, like, would you even want to? He's like, yes, I want to. I want to be there. I want to do it. I want to do it. And I'm like, and I asked him some other questions. He wouldn't answer, which is good. I was like, is it a Filoni thing? Is it a Disney thing? Like, what is it? And he goes, I don't think it's the people that are the front facing. I was like, oh,
yeah.
So, it's hard because he's incredible and he made this incredible story and it's right there on a silver platter.
And it's not like he made it that long ago. Those books finished 4 years ago, not even, like, not that long ago. But yes, to that point though, I think a lot of the hatred, or whatever you want to call it, hate's a strong word, but for Thrawn in Ahsoka is because it ends on a cliffhanger, and they wanted to see Thrawn being the badass that he is, and you had to wait 3.5 years to get it. But you have Rebels, you have those 6 books canon, at least you even have more in Legends, and there's plenty of Thrawn that's already established in canon that you already know that Thrawn's gonna be just the best in season 2. Like, he's gonna steal the show. When we're getting stuff about Peridia and Mortis and Bale and Skull, we're all gonna be like, where's Thrawn? What's Thrawn up to?
No, absolutely. I'm gonna jump on the next one. All right, Mike. I like this one. Sabine using her lightsaber and her Mandalorian flamethrower together. That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, and it says Sabine is reverse gripping her lightsaber, which is very Ahsoka, which is really cool because she's, of course, being trained by Ahsoka, so having that be there too. But yeah, it's a Mandalorian Jedi. It's not something you get a lot of times. So getting the combo of her using her Mandalorian stuff, her cool gizmos and gadgets. That Din Djarin has, that you see used so often now, and then you add a lightsaber and the Force. Like, that's gonna be really cool to see.
Yeah, and I think it'll add a lot to her character as well, because we do get to see, like we said before, a lot of people are bitching about her being a Jedi and her, her powers or whatever they are at this point, but people don't remember that she was trained for a while. She was trained for a while, and now, but again, she's a Mandalorian.
Just because you're trained doesn't mean you got it, though. Like, I mean, as someone who's an educator, I work with a lot of people that I've taught them for years, but then I have some kids that are like, after a week, they're like, I got this.
Like Anakin. But sometimes,
but I think with both of them, both the Mandalorian and the Jedi in her is what makes her, a little bit more powerful, no matter what. Same with Grogu, and as Grogu's continuing to grow up, he's I don't know if he's a Jedi, but he has Force powers, and he's a Mandalorian. So I think this will be really cool to see Sabine come a little bit further, and because she already kicked ass in Rebels. I mean, she was already a great Mandalorian fighter. So I think when you add the lightsaber and the flamethrower, and and like you said, Mike, with her, with the reverse grip, we're gonna see, okay, so she's listening to Ahsoka this time, and she's learning more. So, and I think that'll be really cool once we see that on screen.
Yeah, and to Derek's point too, the only difference with Sabine there would be she is raised on the Mandalorian upbringing, which is the exact opposite of the Jedi, which is, to have attachments and to be stubborn and to have all the exact opposite of what a Jedi is, and she has to overcome all of that to actually be a Jedi. I do like the contrast between her and Grogu, because Grogu chooses no Jedi, yes Mandalorians, and Sabine's kind of doing the opposite, which is cool, and they're at the same time. But also, Ahsoka is no Jedi, so neither is Sabine.
Well, KG said natural talent helps, but practice makes perfect. And again, as an educator, practice makes better.
Well, Ahsoka says something similar to that in the first season, when Sabine's like, why can't I use the Force? I've been trying so hard for so long. And she's kind of like, says something along those lines of like, it doesn't come easy to everyone, but
KG just followed that up. But Sabine's problem was that she didn't fully believe she could wield the Force. Once she let go and believed, she could. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
That's it right there. And
because her Mandalorian way is in the way the entire time. All her attachments too, like what we don't see on screen is the biggest part in Sabine's story. Her entire family dies in the Night of 1,000 Tears on Mandalore, and that's why Ahsoka actually has to stop training her because she taps too deep into the dark side in the training. Like that is something that we just don't see on screen, so it's hard to imagine, but that is by far the most impactful thing that happens to Sabine. All the characters that you meet in Rebels, her brother, her mom, all of them are dead. They all got killed. They got mic'd in a single night by the Empire, and her planet turned to glass. So we just don't see that happen.
Yep. You want to take that next one?
Yeah, sure. So it then goes to Ezra, and Ezra, it says Ezra's ignites a lightsaber while surrounded by enemies, and it doesn't specifically say the enemies, but I am again imagine he's on Dathomir, probably stormtroopers or Night Sisters, which still can't wrap my head around getting an entire army of Night Sisters, but having Ezra verse them is going to be awesome. And when they lose, you know who they're going to have to go crying to? Derek, Marin.
Guess who she's with?
Cal
A young gentleman named Cal Kestis in a very nice poncho.
Oh, the hood too.
Maybe that's what I should do. Ron's always complaining that my set's too dark. Maybe I should just go full on Palpatine, Sith Lord. Here we go.
Floating face.
There we go.
Floating face.
Floating face.
I can't see.
Oh,
this is awful. There we go.
Wow.
Yeah. Actually, I don't like that at all. That is so awkward.
But they do mention Dathomir in this as well. So obviously we are, which again, we assume that, you know, we were going to see that, but it's cool that they're, well, I guess this isn't like a confirmation yet from Lucas, and nobody's actually seen this, but you know, that's the cool thing. And that, like you were saying with the Night Sisters, I think it's going to be really cool to see Dathomir as a planet up close and down on the planet. Sure, you can look at this, you know, red planet or red and yellow planet from a ways away and you know it's Dathomir, but to get down on it and, you know, be there in the planet, you know, between the trees and whatever living quarters are still there or even exist anymore. But it'll be interesting to see that planet. I think is going to be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I guess getting to the Cal Kestis thing, I don't think Cal Kestis will be in Ahsoka season 2. I think he'll be set up to be in whatever's next.
Yeah.
The way I think it's going to go down at this point is they're not going to give us Cal Kestis until the third game is over. And the third game is definitely not coming out before Ahsoka season 2. So when they lose, when somehow the Night Sisters have returned and Thrawn uses those Night Sisters that he has now awoken to defeat the New Republic, or to at least win the battle above Dathomir, then the New Republic, or at least the Ghost crew, are going to have to go, we need help badly. We don't know what the Night Sisters are. We don't know how they work. We don't know what's going on. Who are we going to call? Well,
Ghostbusters.
Exactly. Maybe Asajj Ventress, but your second option would be Cal Kestis and Marin, and you could set that up with Ahsoka season 2 and the third Jedi game by setting up Cal Kestis' first appearance.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, and I think that the last episode could really like pop Cal in. I'm kind of with Mike, where I was really hoping that Cal would be in this season, and I'm just not feeling it now. Yeah. I know that's hard for me to say. Really hard for me to say, especially with my bold predictions. But I could see that something with him, whether it's like, you know, a hooded figure kind of thing in the last episode, or something happens where it sets up the game, because like the past 2 weeks, there's been some really weird like Reddit threads of people like, it's going to come out in December. Like, the game's not coming out in December. It's not, because they're going to pre-order that game because then you can get extra skins and all that stuff. But the fact that those rumors are coming out, usually those are started by the companies that are putting the games out to get some attention. It's free publicity. So what I could see happening, like Mike said, it's like we're not going to see Cal in the series, but maybe the last episode will have something.
Yeah.
And what I would, here's an interesting thing that just kind of popped in my head. Maybe Marin does pop in the last episode, or maybe, maybe Marin's the last couple episodes.
Yeah.
No Cal, but Marin's like, I know who can help this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or like, there's only one person that can help this.
It would be.
Yeah,
it would be genius to set up the game with the show. Like, because if Cal's not there and Marin is, you'd be like, "Where's Cal?" And then you have to play the game to figure it out. Like, that would be.
And what if the game had Thrawn in it?
Oh,
he's the main villain.
My god!
Yeah,
I mean, because you gotta. With the first game, it's the Inquisitors, and then it's Vader at the end. The second game, it's the whole Bode situation and the High Republic guy, the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be the villain of the third game? If it's Thrawn, that would be great.
Yeah. Or if it's if and I've said this before, like, what if he goes with Thrawn, back to fight the Gris and
that would be really crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I think also to your guys' point, no matter what, it feels like Ahsoka season 2 and Jedi 3 are going to have more interconnection than the last Jedi games had to stuff. Like, the Jedi games have awesome like lore and canon material, but I think Jedi 3 is going to be the most intense because do we all agree it's probably the last one?
Yeah, for sure.
That's I thought that about the second one. Second one was kind of a closed book.
Yeah. So
if
it's the last one, whether it is or not, I have this feeling that it's going to be the most lore tied in game of the three. And in a similar way that like we've talked about a lot before, where the Tales of series always kind of like matches up with whatever's coming out live action wise, you know?
Yeah.
And so I think bare minimum Jedi 3 is going to have a lot of that. And to both your guys' points, like maybe it is a story about something that gets opened up in Ahsoka, or who knows? But I think it'll be there's a lot of opportunity to link it up. I just don't know. I'm with you, Derek. Like, I don't know why. I just have the feeling that he's not gonna be in the season. And I was a little higher on it like a year ago.
Yeah, and especially with like the way the timelines are falling with like Celebration and the fact they haven't already done it. Like, they had him at the last Celebration. They have been amping him up for everything. And it's like, when they drop him, it has to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
It has to be.
And it does seem like, we don't know this for sure, but it does seem like Jedi 3 is going to come out next year, because 2020
it's definitely going to.
Yeah, because 2028, at least from recent reports, is supposed to be the remake of KOTOR. 2029 supposedly is going to be Fate of the Old Republic. So if we're going to release a big game in 2027, it seems like Jedi 3 is going to be the one.
I'll put my 2 billion yen on that. It will come out in the next year.
2 billion yen. I love it.
I think either way, it's like, it's going to be a very dense but relatable story to whatever projects we're getting. Because think about it, the only like confirmed projects that we know of right now before the next few months of D23 and then eventually the lead up to Celebration are Ninth Jedi, eventually Amal Season 2, Ahsoka Season 2, Starfighter. So I think Jedi 3 could give us, honestly, I think regardless of how it ties him into live action, that's going to be a phenomenal story. It's going to go out with a bang. And it could, maybe not, maybe so, inform us of like what other things we're going to get. Because if we're all of the belief, which we are, that Cameron Monaghan's going to be in live action,
100%.
Jedi.
That's one thing. Like, I'll put my left leg on that. He will be in something at some point.
Then this last Jedi 3 story is going to be big, and it's going to inform us like exactly where he can be put in, because I think you guys are right. I don't think the first introduction of him in live action is just going to be a cameo. I think they will do it right. And it seems more and more as Ahsoka gets closer, like, man, is there time to do that with him? That would be right. That would do it justice. And I don't know. Right. But
yeah. What I don't think this is going to be true, but I gotta say it. What if Jedi 3 ends with Cal Kestis dying?
Bro, dude, don't. All right, here we go. Just fucking don't. Just don't. Don't Mike. Well, do not Mike Cal Kestis on this.
I don't want to, but it has to be said.
If Cal's gonna die, it has to be in a live action. I'm sorry, like it cannot be in a game. It can't. Damn, you just ruined my night.
So, but if we follow that thread, what happens?
No, we're not
like
following it. We're not talking
Vader.
about it. It's
maybe
over.
better. Maybe better.
Vader.
Oh yeah. Well, maybe I'm not talking like how he dies, but like what? Like what is, because I don't think Cal would die and then nothing happens with that story.
Yeah.
But like maybe that's a good argument, Derek. Like, what are the implications? What's the argument against killing him? I think is very strong. Like, what do we miss out on?
Look how I just reacted.
Yeah, true.
That's why you don't do it. Honestly, like you just can't. You cannot kill him off in the game and not let him be in a live action.
Yeah. I agree. I just had to do my due diligence as a Mike.
Well, yeah, I get it. I mean, I would say I respect it, but I don't.
No. Well, I guess again, then the counter argument would be, what if Merrin dies?
I could see Merrin in the game, and that drives Cal to push to do something else.
The dark side.
Yes.
Dun dun.
I mean, he's already embraced the dark side.
Yeah, he's
and
really.
Who got him to stop doing that was Merrin.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing about Jedi 3, which I feel like doesn't get talked about nearly enough, is that he gets sort of trapped with Bode's daughter, or not trapped, but Bode's daughter is with him at the end of the game, and it's almost as if she's teased to be this Force user because her dad was, and Cal's going to train her. Is the second game just going to be like a co-op 2-player game where you get to play as?
No. and I'm all about like multiplayer games that I prefer them, but no, this series has been perfection with single player games.
True, but I'm not saying multiplayer. I'm more so saying like in Jedi Survivor, you have like these big missions where you just play as Seer, and then you fight Vader as Seer Junda. What if in the second game, like half the missions are Cal, but half the missions are you as this girl who's training to be?
Hard no.
What if it's an ensemble?
Well, what are they going to do with the girl, Derek? What are they going to do with the girl?
She will go down with what's her name from the Maz. She'll go hang out with Maz.
If I
like such important characters that they're just gonna like.
Yeah. If I may, gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong. Well, no, I'm not wrong. It's just my feeling. So I'm not stating any facts here. I got the vibe, especially based on the proximity to the Obi-Wan show of the Jedi games, that there was a lot of the path adjacent themes with like the second game story.
Yep.
Right? He winds up with this kid. He finds Tanalorr. They're not quite doing the rebellion thing, but he's also very focused on like making sure people like him are safe. So like, could that play into your missions on the game? You continue like trying to, I don't know, keep the Jedi thing alive, and then his show is like adjacent to the idea of the path in the Obi-Wan. So instead of like an Obi-Wan season 2 where the path is part of it and talking to Qui-Gon's part of it, it's maybe a Cal Kestis show.
How about this? And hear
Bring
me out,
it.
because this is
Like this is how it
'Cause-
starts.
Wait a second.
No, this
Because
is
then
good
you
news.
could involve Asajj, Quinlan, because Quinlan's involved. Like, yeah, go ahead.
So I'm going to connect it all.
Oh,
What if you are completely correct, Nick, and this whole third game is them, specifically Cal Kestis and others, almost sort of, and as Nick always talks about too on these on these streams, making a paralleled Jedi Order alongside of Luke's Jedi Order that is off in the galaxy somewhere else. And what if at some point Cal Kestis, has a daughter? I don't know if the math will math on this, but bear with me. And that daughter ends up growing up and being at that Jedi Temple, and that Jedi Temple is on this planet called Adaria, and that planet and the Jedi Temple appear in Starfighter, and that daughter of Cal Kestis is actually Amy Adams, who dies in the first act of the Starfighter movie.
Redhead connection.
Redhead connection.
Yeah.
It's all in the hair.
Mike, did you talk about this on your show?
Seriously, though, the idea that there's a new Jedi Order or a Jedi Temple in Starfighter that just appears out of thin air doesn't make any sense. It would have had to come from somewhere, and maybe it's from Cal Kestis and the others who survived Order 66 or doing something else somewhere else in the galaxy that's not with Luke.
I'll do you one better. How's this for full circle moment and for also appeasing all of us in our downer time tonight? All that's the same except done on Tanalorr, this mysterious planet that for whatever reason is untouched, no one can get to. And as it turns out, this wormhole that sends us to Tanalorr actually takes you to Peridia land. And the way that Ahsoka and Sabine can get back is they discover them and get back by visiting Tanalorr and come back to our known galaxy with Cal.
Interesting.
And,
so Cal Kestis just shows up on Peridia and goes, that'll be $5 for your bus ticket, and then they hop in.
No, I mean, I feel
that's how they could get to Gisela too.
Yeah, for similar reasons that we say about other things, I feel like the whole idea of Tanalorr is very glossed over. Of like, why create this huge deal for no reason? Same thing with Peridia,
Yeah.
It's kind of a big, I don't know, a big like swing to take in Star Wars, and they did it in a game, obviously. But
and could that be the focus of the game? I
Right.
could see that being the major focus of the game, where it's not so much. I mean, you're going to have an antagonist, of course, but maybe it's more about why these places, these planets are so untouchable but so important. And then again, like, can it go to a whole nother planet, or maybe it goes to like some like I mean, we got Dathomir, but Exegol. Or
Right.
other planets like that, or again, like Chasilis, like, could that be a connection in the Force where it's like these planets are kind of untouchable, but in different ways?
They're dropping it with Tanalorr. They dropped it with Exegol, as you said. They drop it with Gisela. They dropped it with Brendok. They in the Acolyte, full circle Acolyte. Peridia's got something going on, obviously.
It's in a different galaxy, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's one in Rebels too, where Zeb like brings the last Lasats to. That's a sort of a hidden planet too.
Yeah. Or I mean, shit, we talk about it all the time. At different reason, but it's
yeah.
To me, it's like
yeah.
To me, it's like the same vibe of like that was not done just for like a fun story. Like that was done for a reason, and I feel like Tanalorr gets kind of overlooked, and we rightfully so look at Dathomir a lot with Cal Kestis, but anyway.
Well, to your point too, there's Camino.
Yeah.
And Camino, all it took was one little, switch of a button to erase it from the Jedi archives, and everybody think it didn't exist. Well, meanwhile, they're making an entire army there.
Well, and you had to look at Mustafar as well. I mean, Mustafar was known, but like, look what Vader did to it, and how it became like his fortress. I mean, it was his fortress, and that is such an important thing. So, yeah, I would love to see this game explore like hidden, forbidden, just unknown, weird things. Wait, what if the game? And I can pretty much guarantee this won't be it. But what if the game did tie in Skeleton Crew?
That'd be nice.
I mean, you know me, I like bold predictions. This is not one I'm going to make, but it would be really cool if, like, I mean, he goes to weird places. Maybe he goes to AT-AT.
Yeah, or maybe not AT-AT, but
or
maybe
one of the
even
other
like,
ones that were already found.
already found. Also, you could have it be more pirate involved in the third game, and he could go to like port. What was the port called? Whatever. The port.
I would love to see that, where it's not as much as an antagonist as like pirate factions.
Yeah, and you have to sort of go. You like go to that port from Skeleton Crew, and you can just venture around and see like all the locations that you see. You maybe get sent to the brig that Jod Nana Wub was in. Maybe it's before the events of Skeleton Crew, and God is still the one in charge.
To that end, do you game players find that like the Empire stuff, and we'll always love when Vader's and stuff, but the Empire stuff is kind of like tapped out in Jedi a little bit?
It would have to be a really big time jump to go past the Empire.
Well, I'm just saying, if he's off doing planets or whatever, could this be an opportunity to tee up a totally different set of antagonists set later in other projects?
Yeah. What I mean, what if the Grisk is the main villain of the third game?
Right. I mean, I kind of said that too.
Yeah, you did. So like, I think that's why Jedi 3 could be huge to like, kind of set the table without having to make a show of like, here's what we could be dealing with. And who better to link them later in a show than the guy in the game?
And then you have a whole nother series that adds on.
Yes.
Because I still think that's going to happen with Thrawn. Like, he's going to get his own series in some way.
I hope so. But to that point, the first game, Fallen Order, is the villains are the Empire. They're the Inquisitors and Stormtroopers all the time. The second game, you're fighting the Empire at some points, but it's mostly the other stuff like Bode and the Dagon character. So they already are shifting away from the Empire as the antagonist. So the third game might do it completely, which would be great.
Right. This game's going to be, I think it's going to be it's probably going to be the most important game for Star Wars as far as actual canon storytelling.
Yes, absolutely. And there's always the possibility too, as Max Rebo says all the time, that the game ends with him going to a different planet, Alderaan, and then he blows up by the Death Star. And that's how the game ends.
I've never heard of it.
Well, I mean, it is a little bit late, but
warning, not everyone survives the galaxy. It's time for Mic Drop, the segment where we predict who's getting eliminated, who's not making it out alive, and who may have just booked a one-way trip to the dark side.
Also, why does Mike look like Matthew Broderick in that picture? Mike's not old enough to know who that is, so it's fine.
I know Matthew Broderick.
No, get out of here.
All right, sure. Well, the idea that I guess Cal Kestis could die in the third game is not, off the table, I will say. And by the way, the gong makes that entire thing.
I have to put it in every time now.
Let me just say, if Cal goes, you go.
When Cal Kestis dies at the end of the game, I just get 1,000 text messages from Derek going, "How could you?"
Oh, there won't be a text message. Like, Derek,
on your door.
Derek is pinned in Boston.
Do we have any other deaths that you think are gonna come out of this? I know you're a big Hera killer, but
yeah,
I think Marin's gonna die now that Mike said that, though.
yeah, I could see that, especially at the end of that third game.
And
Yeah.
I don't think Cal will, but I think Marin will.
I agree, and I think it will even add more to if they go get Cal to sort of help with the Night Sister thing, because he'll be like, "Oh, I dated the Night Sister for a while, and then she died."
Dated.
But having said that, I do see Marin dying in that game as well. But going back to Ahsoka season 2, yeah, Harrison Duel is probably my biggest one from that. I don't see Ezra dying. I don't see Zeb dying. I could see Captain Rex dying if he's in it, but I don't really know if he's even going to be in it. But Hera's the biggest one because of Jason. Obviously, she's the mom of the Ghost crew, and it makes Thrawn a way bigger threat to the people who don't know Thrawn and people who don't read the books or watch the animation. You have to set up this character to actually be a big enough threat. And if he's the heir to the Empire, well, the last guy, he killed all the Jedi and took over the entire galaxy. So for Thrawn to even compete with that, he's going to have to take out some heavy hitters and people that fans have an emotional connection to. Hera obviously being one for Rebels fans, but Din Djarin would be the big one for live action fans. Why not both? No, I think Hera will likely die, and I was mentioning this yesterday, but if at any point in season 2 she gets split up from Jason in any sort of battle, I'm gonna be like, it's happening. But we'll have to see.
I've said Jason's gonna die.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, so's Cal dying in his own game on the get out of here.
That's not. It's a full-on trilogy where he dies again. That would be a great
out of here.
story arc.
They're not killing kids.
Jason is a child.
Yeah.
Well,
We're not killing
killed
kids.
them off before.
Well, that's true, but
different parent company.
there wasn't really any names associated with them. I'm sure they had names, and I'm sure we could
first for
find them.
everything.
I think
Not that I want him to go. I don't want him to go. I could just see something really bad happening to him.
Yeah, no.
Like
maybe
losing
turn
his
to the
vision.
dark side.
No. He won't go to the dark side. What if he lost
losing his
like
vision?
His dad, like his dad.
That would be.
No, he's gonna die. He's gonna get mic'd.
Okay,
Ooh.
well, Cal Kestis dying at the end of the third Jedi game.
No, it's not happening.
It would be just like Kanan dying in Rebel Season 4.
No, it won't. It's not going to happen, so it doesn't matter. So,
all right,
you can keep talking about it, but it's like,
I will say, since the mic drop segment has been this big thing lately, Din Djarin surviving the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, it still hasn't really, I haven't recovered from that. I think he's got to go. He's got to go.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one for sure.
Yeah. I love the character of Din Djarin, but he's got to go. Like, there's so much potential for so many characters around him because of his death. And he's the guy who's going to, assemble the Avengers when his death happens, because he's got the connection to all these different characters. And it just so happens that Grogu is like the future of the entire franchise, and it would be heartbreaking to him, and his reaction to that would be, very important.
When Din,
he hasn't. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, when Din went down, like I don't know what the timestamp would be, but like halfway through the movie, I was like, oh, it's not happening. I guess, like it's way too early to lose him.
Yep.
The big thing with me was not seeing the Mythosaur. It's like he has to do something with that, and I thought it was going to come in that movie somewhere.
Yeah.
And there was a part of me that was like, it is, but it isn't, and like maybe they just wrote it off, and then maybe Bo would get on, use it, or maybe Grogu, but he's gonna have something to do with that before he goes, and maybe that's how he goes. Like not the Mythosaur killing him, but him like riding it and into a battle. And Sabine kills him.
Whoa. I kind of disagree with that, because Din, although he goes face to face with the Mythosaur, he doesn't see it. Bo-Katan does. And I think they did that on purpose to give, I guess, Bo more credit to the throne, supposedly. Or I get there's no throne anymore, but
it gives her something now that the Darksaber's gone.
Well,
yes.
and I'm with you that with him not seeing it in her, but I think he still has to have some interaction with it.
Yeah.
I think that like him
He's
going
still-
past it, I think it's too symbolic of him going past it, having this big thing happen in the show, her seeing it, and then him having nothing else to do with it. Like maybe it's her that is the writer that gets the Darksaber back and figures out something, and then I don't know. I think that
because
could be that.
Well, Din Djarin is the one who still brought the Mandalorians back together and reclaimed their world. So he's still the guy. But you also got to, I guess, take into account, like, did the Mythosaur pull him down? Because he's just, hanging out in the water, and then he just goes boom, straight down into the water.
Yeah.
And he just blacks out all of it. But he goes really deep down because Bo-Katan has to go after him. Like, did that, giant monster drag him down there? Like, what happened there?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's more to it. There
Well,
has to be.
I think for sure. And but I don't think that we'll see that until possibly the third, the end of the trilogy, because I think they're going to need that no matter who's riding it or who's communicating with it, whether it's Grogu, or her. But I think that we'll see that towards the end, because that's going to be a big part, sort of like the Rancor was at the end of Book of Boba Fett, where you need they're losing. And all right, here and the good guys are going to lose again, and Thrawn's just crushing them or whatever's going on, and then the Mythosaur shows up. Whether it's with Bo-Katan or whether it's with Grogu or Din Djarin or whatever. But I think that's possibly where we could get that, because that's going to be a big, like you said, Derek. It's going to be it's too big to not bring into this, and for the little time that we see, obviously a little sneak peek there that she sees it, and obviously it's still there on Mandalore even after the Night of 1,000 Tears. It survived, and that's going to be almost like a turning point, I think, in a possible war, or at some point when the good guys are losing.
Well, yeah, good and evil is perspective. So
True.
So
the bad guys don't think that they're bad,
and the good guys think that they're good, and they don't. Look at the Jedi; they suck.
That's what the acolyte told us.
I see. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It's all about perspective.
All right, we're actually over 2 hours, so this has been pretty cool. I did not think that we'd be going this long and into it this much, but the chat's been blowing up. So thank you guys for all of your chats tonight. We had a whole bunch of people on here. We still have a bunch of people on here, which is awesome. But it's 9 o'clock here, 10 o'clock Mike's time, and 3 a.m. in the UK, depending on who's
it's 3 a.m. in Iowa.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for being here. We will do this again next week on Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, A Guy Who Loves Star Wars. So that guy right over there, go check it out. 2 o'clock our time, 1 o'clock your time, correct, Mike? 1 o'clock Eastern?
2 o'clock Eastern.
2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock here. Sorry, I had a little brain fart there. So
4 o'clock if you're in California.
If you're watching this again, please join the chat. Throw up some likes. Appreciate you guys being here. Subscribe, like Derek says. We're trying to build up a little bit and get moving here. So
get us monetized, friends.
Continuing
for real.
Continuing to grow. So thanks everybody for being here. I know a lot of people bail out, halfway through or whatever, but we've had a steady audience here tonight. So I'm super excited about that. And we are growing, and really we had some really cool things to talk about tonight. So we'll deep dive into those as well again as things continue to come up. I am going to start reading the new book probably tomorrow. I won't have any spoilers in the next couple of weeks. I'm not sure how long the actual unabridged version is, but that's one I'm looking forward to, because again, like me and Mike were talking about, hopefully that will help us with the sequels and, you know, sort of give us some more information of what's going on. So Nick, Derek, Mike, thank you guys for joining tonight and talking Star Wars, and everybody else here in the stream. Have a great evening. May the Force be with you, and we'll see you on the next Star Wars Jedi Chat.